Good morning. My name is Alexiot. I'm the RaptorFreak, and it's Thursday, and there is no game today now. The Chicago Bulls have COVID protocol problems right now. I was looking at it. There's like 10 of them on the list. They only have like 6 available players, and it's just not going to happen. So we're postponed for the game today. So I'm going to do trivia today. And the subject today is going to be the season last year, the season in Tampa, the COVID season. Since I figured we're having COVID issues with postponement again today, and there was issues with the last game with the Nets, that you know what, it's time to do reminiscence and trivia on the COVID season of last year. Because not only that, let's do some house cleaning here. The Raptors have announced yesterday that they're going to 50% capacity, starting with the game against Golden State on Saturday. Leafs, Raptors, Ottawa Senators, this is all of the teams in this province of Ontario are slashing their capacity by 50%. And this is going to cause all kinds of crazy problems for games with season ticket holders and different people who already have tickets to games that are coming up. Like I'm going to the game on New Year's Eve with the Clippers. And I'm not sure how that's going to work right now with things with this, because they've already sold all these tickets and they're only going to let half the people in. So this is going to be very interesting to see how they deal with this ticket situation with the new capacity rules right now. It's the right thing to do. And honestly, you know what I think MLSC will do is they will offer season ticket holders their money back for some of this time. And they may encourage people to do this just to make it easier. Like they may go to all the season ticket holders and say, listen, we'll give you back all your money for each of these games that you don't take on these ones. And some of the season ticket holders will take this because they've been losing money this year, actually, because the team hasn't been doing well and people haven't been wanting to go to the games as much because of the pandemic. And also some people just can't go to the games because of vaccination stuff. That some of these season ticket holders will actually turn around and say, yeah, I'll sell my tickets for the season because I already see that it's like, this is a wash and I've already been losing money. So it's a very sticky situation and it's going to be hard to figure out for the whole organization. And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare because they got to do it quickly. This has to happen by Saturday for this game on Saturday. Now, a little bit more housekeeping notes, just in general, before we get into the trivia section of today's live stream. I'm hearing that Klay Thompson may be here on Saturday, and one of his first games back as a Warrior from his injury will be against us here. So I think we should be ready for Klay Thompson and James Wiseman to show up for the Warriors game on Saturday. Now, part of the good news with this is that they're playing Boston in Boston on Friday night. So they're coming here on the second night of a back-to-back to play us here in Toronto. But I really believe, because they just recalled Klay from their G League team this morning to the main roster, that they're going to aim and want him to be here in Toronto, because part of it's a full circle thing with 19, him getting hurt, and he really hasn't been back since. So I think that they're trying to land him back on the game against us on Saturday, because they did activate him from the G League and he's back with the main roster and he's ready to go. So it'll be really interesting to see Klay Thompson, whether he's going to be back with the Warriors for Saturday. I'm pretty sure he will be. So another interesting news this morning is that apparently Serge Ibaka is on the trading block also. He's somebody who's not happy with what's going on in the Clippers. I knew he wouldn't be happy there. He only really went there because Kawhi went there, and they were like, oh, we can put Kawhi and Serge together. It'll be just like the – well, Steve Ballmer, you're an idiot, because that's not all it takes. It takes a lot more than just having the two guys together. And they're not playing Serge right now with the Clippers. Like they're doing okay. The Clippers have been winning lately, but Serge is not getting any minutes. So I think that he's kind of like a trading piece that somebody could try and go get. Now, wouldn't that be nice if something could be finagled and happen in the next week or so, where we get Serge back, like on a real cheap kind of thing? Or maybe we make a deal and it's just an easy little deal that happens, because Serge could really help us in our state of affairs right now. And I really feel like we should never let go of him. And that the only reason why we let go of him at that time was because we were in the Giannis sweepstakes. And that didn't work out. So maybe we can call him mulligan. He can call him mulligan on going to the Clippers, and he ends up back on our roster somehow. That would be fantastic, because we know he's a great fit. He's a culture fit, and he'll you bring a lot of stuff that we need right now, whether it's the toughness, the defense, the rebounding, and the leadership off the court. So I'm all for it. Bobby, get on the phone. Get Ibaka back in Toronto, baby. If it's not going to be Ibaka, it's got to be one of these guys. Turner, Sabonis, somebody. All right. So let's talk about today's subject today is, I want to make the trivia real simple today, is about last year. Last year was a weird year because, all right, first the bubble happened and it kind of pushed everything back for the year after that. So we started this season in like December last year. Nurkic is up for trade too. Holy crap, this is really good, G. There's a lot of targets here, so hopefully we can land one of them. But last year we had to start the season late. It was around this time last year that the season was starting. We had to do a really quick free agency. We lost Serge and Mark all of a sudden. Like, that's hard to believe that that was just a year ago, that when Serge and Mark left was just a year ago, guys. And what happened here was that we started real quick and we had to, like, at the last minute get centers. We got Aaron Baines and, I shouldn't be saying this, and Alex Len, and it was just garbage. And then we went all through the whole season and we were doing okay. And we started to get our stride, and then COVID hit and that just ruined the season again. And of course, we're playing Tampa. That was already a setback and a hard thing for us to deal with. And it was just a nightmare season. It was very, but there was a lot of good development. We ended up picking up some really crucial guys for this year that we have now still. And so the topic for today is the COVID season and who played the most minutes for us last year. Once again, if you get the number one answer, you only get 1 point. But if you get like deep bench guys who played for us last year and put minutes on the COVID year, then you'll get a lot of points. So right now I've got 25 names on the list. 22 of them actually played, and 3 of them were kind of guys who were in the background who could have played, were on the bench at times, but never actually got in the game. So if you know any of these names, whoever's here and wants to play, just start naming players that played for the Raptors during the Tampa season, and you'll get points. This is time for trivia points to be had right now. And, last year was a weird year. It was character building. I really feel like these young guys got a lot of development out of it, whether it was Yuta, Malachi, all these different guys got good development in that year last year. So anybody who wants any points, who was number 1 in minutes during the Tampa COVID season? Who do you think it was? Is somebody who's still on the team right now? There's 8 names on my list today that are still on the team. So if anybody wants to guess them, I got them right here. They're doing some work out front right now with a big truck and some dumb stuff. And right now they're doing road work outside my house. So it's a little bit noisy here today, but this season was a nightmare. I know y'all want to forget about it, that it was stupid. It was annoying. It's like, why are we in Tampa? Nobody else has to deal with this. People were getting their games postponed and we weren't getting our games postponed. But, we did it anyway. We went through it and tried our best. And it just didn't happen. Like, we didn't make the playoffs and we ended up getting Scotty, which was fantastic. So it really kind of was a year that worked out for us in a lot of ways. But I'm just seeing who remembers things about the Raptors season last year. Name any player that played on the Raptors last year. I already said a bunch of them in this live stream. I should have shut up. I was like saying, no, talk about the season, but don't say any specific names. And then I did. I started naming a bunch of specific names just now. So it's real easy. I mean, I wanted to make this trivia easy because times are hard with the pandemic and stuff. And this really is the pandemic week, obviously, again, for this season, with all of the stuff that's happening with postponement, capacity getting cut in half, players like being out because of protocols, whether, it's stuff like Masai Ujiri, Matt and Jack, Patrick Mutombo, Precious Achua, the whole Chicago Bulls team, a bunch of the Nets team. There's real problems with COVID. So who were the players that played the most minutes for the Raptors last season? So if you name these players, you get points. It's that simple and that easy. Anybody, MK, G, Click 2 AM, Sue, Paul. Right now our leader is Alistair. Alistair, if you're here, easy points, buddy. G, Steve Sleeve. These are all people that are at the top of the point standing right now. Alistair has 147 points. G has 140. Okay, here we go. MK's getting on the board. Chris Boucher is on the list. He's number 4. He actually played the 4th most minutes last year. He was one of the guys that played like almost the whole season. He was with the team, so he got to play a lot of minutes because there's kind of a halfway period where we split. Guys were playing in the first half of the season, but they weren't there in the second half of the season because of trades and cutting people and getting new people and stuff like that. All right, Chris, you got Chris. I'm gonna give you see how many you can get off this list. Minutes. Fred, yep, Fred. Oh, G's on it. Okay, yeah, you can have Fred. Fred's number 2. Fred is number 2 on the list. OG's number 5. Malachi, yep, that's number 10. That's big points. Points for Malachi. Okay, G got number 1, which is Pascal Siakam. Yeah, man, think about everybody who's there. You know, some of these guys are traded. They're not on our team anymore. We love them still. We miss them. You know, and then also one of these guys on this list, he just got called the Bulls, and now he's already on COVID protocols. The poor guy, he gets called up, he gets his big shot on the Bulls, and he's already on COVID protocols with them. It's like they called him up to fill in for COVID protocols, and then he got on COVID protocols. I mean, how sad is that? He had some really good games for us last year. And you know what else? The crazy thing is, this guy had the 7th most minutes for us last year. That's crazy to me. All right, unfortunately, G, Serge is a strike. We did trade him before the season, so he wasn't on this team technically. No, he wasn't. So I'm sorry, G, you got 1 strike. You get 2 more, though. All right, think about this. Think about our charges leader who's not here anymore, that took the charges with him to wherever he went next. That's on the list. That's actually number 3 on the list. I'm going to give the easy ones clues real quick, but I will go through the other ones too. And think about who's still on the team that was on the team last year. That's important. Some guys got here in trade. Some guys got here in free agency. Some guys got here and they were 2-way players and then became full-time players. You know, there's also a guy who we just saw recently on Sacramento who's on this list, a guy who we just saw on Oklahoma City recently on this list. This guy we saw in Washington that's on this list. Okay, G just said Kyle. That's right. Kyle is number 3 with 1,601 minutes. Gary Trent. Yep. Gary Trent is number 13. That's 13 points. That's big time. Gee, you're gonna take. You've got the lead already now because Alistair's not here. Okay, G saying TD Terrence Davis. That's right. G got that one just before you did, MK. Unfortunately, that's the timestamp. See, we can see in the chat. We can see who got there first. Think about who we cut earlier this season, like before we started the season. That was at center. Somebody who was really important to us, and the other center we got who's still here. Think about that. And also think about who's playing for the Nets right now, who didn't play in the game against us because he's in COVID protocol right now, but he's starting for the Nets now, and he was on our team last year. He had to play a lot for us last year. And also think about the big failure of last year. Who was that? Freddie Gillespie. Yes, that is right. G, you get 15 for Freddie. He had 392 minutes for the COVID Raptors. Bembry, that's right, G. DeAndre Bembry is out on COVID for the Nets right now. Think about who's in Portland right now, guys. Think about who's in Portland. And think about who's on Milwaukee and who's on Chicago right now. There's a few players that were on this team last year that are spread out all over the league right now. One's on Washington, one's on Chicago, one's on Milwaukee, one's on Oklahoma City. Then we got, I don't know where that guy that's a failure went. I'm glad he's long gone. One guy's on Chicago, but he's got COVID right now. And he was kind of like OG, backup OG. Think about that. Okay, Baines. G got the failure. Aaron Baines, of course. He had the 8th most minutes, 980 minutes of Aaron Baines last year, guys. 980 minutes of him we had to suffer. That's right. And I kind of feel bad for him, honestly, because like his career's over after coming here and doing what he did. Like I don't see anybody picking him up. Stanley, Stanley Johnson. Poor Stanley. He was on the Lakers league team, and then the Bulls called him up because DeMar and all these guys got COVID, and he came to Chicago and he got COVID himself. Well, at least he's in the protocols, and now he's under, same kind of stuff, so he can't even play either. So, all right, we're getting a good amount of the list. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 25 possible answers, guys. And we still got 15 minutes. So you can get these while we're still going. Think about Portland and think about who's there right now and who's our buddy there that we love. And think about who's still on the team. I got like at least 2 more guys that are still on this team that are on this list that are playing for the Raptors last year and this year. And think about the guy who's playing for the Bucks right now. He was on our team for a little while last year. He's really kind of somebody we never even really paid attention to him and made a big deal. Yeah, Norman, of course, Norman. Number 6 is the Portland guy. Norman, G, you are killing it. Think about Oklahoma City, who got into the game for Oklahoma City off the bench, who was a player for us. He got like a 30-point game near the end of the season last year. We talked about him last week when we played Oklahoma City Thunder. He's not a really big-time player, but he's somebody we got in the trivia last week because he was on the team from the year before. So he's been on the trivia answer for 2 trivias in a row now. And think about the guy who just went to Europe that I was talking about this week about how he messed up his career because of drugs. He's on this list too. Paul Watson, G got it. It's Paul Watson. And who's the guy who messed his career? He was the 2nd-round pick. And, he had a really good game at the end of the year last year, and then he fucked up and he got kicked off the team. And it's too bad. And think about the center for Washington that we had that went along with the other failure at center last year. And also think about the guy who won the championships, 2 with Golden State and 1 with us. And he was just always hurt. And then he finally came back and he played a little bit last year. And then we had to cut him. He came back and he played. And we were like, oh, he accomplished it. He made it back. And then we cut him. It was really weird. And then, Alex Len. Yep. G got Alex Len for sure. That's 20 points right there, G. That's a huge one right there. Len only played 76 minutes for the Raptors. He was only there at the beginning of the year, and then he left. He was pissed off that we were starting Aaron Baines over him because he knew he was better than Aaron Baines. And he was like, what are you guys doing? I'm leaving. I'm not going to hang around here and let you guys put me on the bench and make this guy who looks horrible ahead of me. And that's really basically what happened with Len there. Do you guys remember the white guy who was on the team last year with blonde hair that was like really on the fringe? He played 38 minutes on the main roster last year. This is some points. He was on the team though for a little while. Blonde-haired white guy. These are tough. This is only last year, guys. This was last season. I know this is a deep cuts here. I've even got that around this time. One of them's Canadian. He's on the Pacers now. And he's out with COVID protocols also. Another Bull was – there's actually 3 Bulls on this list that COVID, right? COVID protocols. Bulls that were on the Raptors. Saying the Bulls are basically stealing all our players and ideas for players because they keep taking our guys like this. And then also think about, okay, O'Shea, yep. That's 24 points right there, G. That's big time. O'Shea Brissett, he was on the team technically at the beginning of the year. He never played, and we cut him very early on. So he didn't last. He hung around like for maybe the first week, and then we cut him right away almost. And he went to Indiana. Stanley was said, unfortunately, MK, we got Stanley already. But think about other Bulls right now. Like there's a guy who's a shooter on the Bulls right now that's out with COVID protocol that was on our team last year. He was who we thought Sam Decker was going to be the new version of him. Think about that. And then also think about a guy who is on the Bulls who is out. That's it. MK just got it. That's who I was just trying to talk about. Alze. That's 25 points for Alze. That's the big time points because he's a deep cut. He didn't actually ever play for us, but he was on the team last year. And so G gets Matt Thomas. Yep, Matt Thomas was the other Bull. Okay, we're getting close. We're filling it in. Guys, there's still 2 current Raptors that are on this list that you haven't said. One of them is the darling of an entire nation, and the other one is this guy that we need his knee to get better. His knee is just – what is wrong with his knee? Get him back on the court. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of seeing him sitting on the bench with an ice pack on his knee. He needs to get back on the court. We need him as soon as possible. If we ain't going to trade to get Serge Ibaka back, we need this guy to get healthy and be out there as quick as possible. Yep, Kem Birch, that's right. And timestamp says it's G. Well, G is both of you. You're Birch Chem. I like that. All right, so there's just one more player that's still on the team right now that played for us last year. And I said his name earlier by accident, but, he's somebody that we all love. He's somebody who comes off the bench and he inspires everyone with energy and hustle. I know you guys know who this is. I'm giving you guys such good clues. It should be a lay-in. This is like me throwing the good alley-oop for you guys to just dunk it home. This is me throwing the assist. This is Chris Paul to Blake Griffin, LA Clippers 10 years ago. All right, guys. Who is it? He has the weight of the world. Yes, G got it. It is Yuta Watanabe. All right, we got most of the main guys. There's a couple of tough ones on here. Once again, I'll say it's the guy who messed up his career with the Raptors because he was high in a post-game interview last year. He scores his career high, season high in the game. And then in between the game and the interview, he comes out and he's fucked up. He's got glassy eyes, and you could tell I think he smoked weed is what he did. But he was out to lunch in that little bit of time, and it was evident. And they cut him because of that. And now he's playing in Europe with Malcolm Miller. That's right, Jalen Harris. Jalen Harris is another one on here. Gee, you're going to get like so many points today. You're going to have such a good lead that you can miss like multiple trivia games and you'll still be the leader. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen today because you're getting all these points. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 names left out of 20 guys. You've been killing it. The guy on Milwaukee, he was on our team last year, and we don't really talk about him. But he was somebody who was important during the COVID times when we had nobody to play. He was somebody that we played a lot, actually, guard forward. He's really kind of like a fixture in your room, like a furniture. He's like, you don't even realize he's there. He's not even important. That's why you guys probably aren't even remembering this guy. But he's in the rotation for the Bucks right now. He actually plays for the Milwaukee Bucks this year, and he's getting regular rotation time with them as a swingman off the bench. Can you remember who that is on our team? And if it gets closer in the 5 minutes before, I might give you clues about their name, so it's even easier. But think about who's on the Bucks now, who was on our team last year. And then who's this guy with blonde hair I was talking about, who's like a power forward who played on our team last year? You remember his name. That's a really tough name to remember because he did play for us, and he was kind of like one of the possible solutions for our center problems last year. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get better, and he played for us. I think he played for the Pistons before he played for us. And then also we got this guy who won championships his first 3 seasons in the NBA, 2 with Golden State, and then he won the championship with the Raptors in 2019. He was still on our team last year, but he was hurt, and we were still waiting for him to come back. And then when he came back, he played 1 game, and then we cut him or something like that. He played a couple games, and then we cut him almost right away. Those are the last names on the list, and we only got about 5-6 minutes left to play to get these final points: 17 points, 21 points, 22 points, and 23 points on the board. So that's like 80, almost 100 points still available for anyone who wants to try and get them right now. So think about the Milwaukee guy. His last name is the same as a very famous archer who fought against corruption in old England by hiding out in the woods. Think about who that is, that last name, and then you'll have the last name of the guy I'm talking about. I think that guy lived in Sherwood Forest. Yeah, that was where that guy lived that I'm talking about. But he has the same last name as this guy who plays for Milwaukee now, who played for us last year. And then, you guys really should know this guy who got 2 championships with Golden State and then 1 with us 3 years in a row. And it's not Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher, something's kind of like that. He won championships with Golden State before he won a championship with us. You guys know that, right? Chris Boucher won a championship with Golden State before he won with Toronto. So he's actually got 2 rings, I think. So this guy kind of like Boucher. He won over there and then came with us too. And then finally, we've got a guy here who's like Brissett and Alzey Johnson, who didn't play technically on the team, but he was on the team. And his last name is the same last name as the great Canadian game show host that used to ask people, would you like door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? Think about that guy. Yep, Patrick McCaw. You got it, G. It is McCaw. That's 22 easy points right there. He played 33 minutes for us last year. 33. We waited all that time for him, like a year and a half, to get healthy, and he played 33 minutes, and then we cut him. It's just sad. Okay, there's only 3 names left. The guy in Milwaukee who shares the same last name as the guy who lived in Sherwood Forest. And then we got the white guy with blonde hair who played for Detroit, who I thought may be a center for us last year near the end, but he didn't really pan out. He was okay. He did okay at times. And then we got the guy who has the same last name as the famous Canadian game show host that used to ask, would you like door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3? And that's aging me. And if you know that answer, then you're probably old like me, because that is an old game show host from like the 70s and 80s. I'm not even lying. Okay, we're getting close. There's about 5 minutes left. 3 names. I might just close. You know what? I'm going to close it now. You guys are. It looks like we've hit a wall. So I'm going to go ahead and add up everything here. We got G with getting 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Gee, man, you're in another stratosphere for this day compared to wherever everybody else is going to be. So let's see. You got 25, 25, 26, 26, 18 and 18, 26, 16 and 20, 25, 36, 25, 14. Oh my gosh. 10, 20, 38, 48, 44, 6. That's 10, 15, 20, 22, 220, 28 points. That's for today. You get that added to your other total. That's 368 points. Gee, oh my gosh. Like nobody's even close now. You've lapped them now. Let's see. I'm giving points to MK. MK got 30, 46 points. So you're at 67. All right. Yeah. Hood. It was Hood. It was Rodney Hood. Yeah, that's too. You know what? I will give you that. Why not? Why not? I'll give you that. You got it after all. So that's another 17. Geez, 385. Okay, so after today's 7th game of trivia, we've got 385 points total. Alistair, 147 points after that. Steve Sleeve, 96. MK 47, 67. Kenny 34, Sue 33, Andrew 26, Darren 13, Click 2 a.m. 7, and Lumpy Rex has got 2. All right, G, you're our new leader, and well-deserved and well-earned. All right, guys, let's go, Raptors Nation. We still got a couple days off before Golden State this Saturday. And like I said, it looks like Clay's going to be showing up and playing one of his first games back against us. If he doesn't show up for Boston, he'll show up for Toronto, I'm pretty sure. So we should be ready to see Splash Brothers in full effect. And hopefully we have a couple of our guys back somehow, some way, whether it's OG, Chem, or Precious. Please, we need a center. Oh, my God. Get him in a trade or get him off the injury list. We need one or the other. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Trivia games are where they are. Tomorrow I'm going to do something special since there's no preview, no trivia, no reaction. I'm doing a special thing tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, hopefully their chemistry is off for the first game. Gee, I like that idea because it is kind of that way. Sometimes when guys come back from injury, they get added to the mix and it's not totally fitting right away. So hopefully they have a little bit of speed bumps with that. But knowing their whole body of work together, I'm pretty sure that's not going to probably happen. Because if 2 guys can get along and play well together, it's Clay and Steph. We know that they're going to fit together just because of all the time. But who knows? Maybe. But the other thing is worrisome about this is he's been out for so long, and that if he's picking Toronto to come back and be here that means he has a vendetta. that means that he has a grudge, and that means that there's a meaning to him wanting to come back and play his first game in Toronto against us. So, yeah, it is wishful thinking. But either way, as long as we have a good showing, we compete, and we play well against them, who knows? Maybe we'll mess around and we'll win the game. Who knows? All right, guys, let's go. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great Thursday.